Good morning. Good morning. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome in. I know we went over I know we went over the content schedule the other day and the streams are at 4 o'clock, but there's a reason the stream is earlier today. So apologies for that, but we'll be back rocking 4 o'clock tomorrow, first day of football. Aiden, who works for our company here at Rolling Insights on the back end, is going to be coming on the stream. He has a big fantasy draft tonight, so I'm going to help him prepare for his draft whenever he hops in here. So that's why we're doing the stream earlier today. This is what time worked for him, and I want to help him win his league. Let me send him the link to this, and he can hop in whenever he pleases. Tomorrow, first and foremost, if you guys are watching, the first NFL DFS video of the season is up on YouTube. Make sure you guys go watch that, like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Really making a push here this season, and we're going to see how big we can grow up this YouTube channel over the course of the NFL season. So make sure you guys go tune into that. I know obviously those videos have done very well in the past. Hopefully they continue to do so this season. Tomorrow we will be talking. Tomorrow the stream is at 4. I'm probably going to go live a little bit before 4 o'clock because I know Steve is going to come on tomorrow. So I don't know what all we're going to get into. He's going to come on at 4. So I'm going to go live a little bit before 4, talk through some betting angles for the Thursday night football game. And then we'll bring Steve on. I'm sure we'll talk more football and kind of get into things from there. So there's the plan for tomorrow. Nathan, you said FanDuel has a 100% money line boost expiring today. Money line parlay. Is it for NFL, I assume, Nathan? Or is it college? If it's for NFL, I would say, let me just pull up. I'm not going to build it on here, but I can flip this to money line. Yes, NFL. Okay. I kind of like, I don't know what to make of this Dolphins Colts game. It's only letting me bet $10. Yeah, that's not shocking. I mean, I like Commanders. I like the Steelers, especially with the Jets now missing their best offensive lineman. I mean, that has some concerning, areas for me. So I would say I like Washington. I like Pittsburgh. I like the Packers over the Lions. I definitely those 4. Commanders, Steelers, Packers. Oh, wait, that's 3. So those 3, and then I would say lean Jacksonville, lean the Rams. And lean the Colts. So I would say if I were doing it, I would put Washington, Pittsburgh, and the Packers in there, and then maybe pick one of like another dog, like Colts short dogs at home. I know it's Daniel Jones, but I really just don't have faith in Miami. Miami kind of conflicting trends there too. Like Miami's been good early on in the season under Mike McDaniel. They've struggled on the road though. Indy's been bad early on in the season recently, but at the same time, it's not like Daniel Jones is very good, but different quarterback situation. I don't know. I kind of like them as short dogs at home. So I don't know. I'd pick one. I'd probably do like a 4-teamer maybe if you're going to use that boost. I think Aiden's in here. Let me pull him in. Aiden, how is it going, my friend?
I'm well. How are you doing?
Good. Why don't you I know like you came on the stream before, but that was also a while ago, so maybe give the people a little introduction as to who you are before we kind of dive into stuff here.
Yeah, my name's Aiden. I am our resident Edmonton Oiler fan, so we'll probably saw some very upsetting things happen in June if you're paying attention to hockey. But I am a developer at the Rolling Insights team, so we're uh, we're here for some fantasy football help today.
Yeah, I kind of previewed. I said that we want to help you win your league. So, I guess okay, how we could go about this is I want to know about your league, obviously, the settings, how many teams, all that good stuff. And then I was thinking maybe I have Sleeper pulled up. Like we could just kind of do a mock draft and kind of go through stuff quickly if that would be helpful to you.
Yeah, perfect. I prepared some questions too, but the draft
Oh
is
yes, even even better.
yeah, my draft is also on Sleeper, so this is my first
Oh,
time ever using it. So
okay, yeah. So that's good then because so I'll just give you a background. This is how I like to play my leagues. I kind of go about things differently than I think most people. I will literally do 100 mock drafts for if it's like an important draft to me on whatever platform I'm playing on, and then I will just go. I will kind of aggregate it. Here's how all the drafts go, and I'll go round by round and kind of pick and choose who I think I want on my team, and then that will dictate like where I draft guys. Like maybe I'll draft guys ahead of where they're supposed to go. Maybe I think I can wait a little bit. So that's kind of how I go about it. But tell me about your league. How many teams? Just the background, I guess.
yeah, so a little background on the league. So it's half PPR. You have a 12-man league. It is a keeper league, but you don't have to keep any players. So it's potentially two keepers. So if you draft someone in the 10th round and you want to keep that player, that uses your ninth round pick the following season. And then for free agency, we're using the auction system.
Okay. All right. So 12 teams. What's like the maximum keepers if you do keep somebody?
Potentially two if you want to. So
Okay,
max.
that's what I thought. Okay. Um, do you know? Do you know where people are being kept? I think I could put that in here, but if you don't, then it doesn't matter.
No, it sounds like most of the keeping is going to be done next year. So
Okay, okay, I got you.
depending on who I get this year, we'll kind of have to make those decisions.
Okay. All right, let me fix this. We have 12 teams. Okay, did you say you're keeping anyone or no?
As of now, we'll undecided. I think it depends on if we can get somebody super late for good value.
Okay. Here, if you want, I can send you the link to this. You could get in it too if you want. If not, it doesn't really matter. Do you know what pick you will have in this draft?
No, we don't have the picks sent out yet.
Okay. Yeah.
I
So a lot of leagues like I feel like it's conflicting. Some do it like way before, and then some do it like right before the draft. I kind of like right before the draft personally. Um,
Yeah, me as well.
I think that's a bigger edge if you know what's going on. It doesn't give you like some people that don't have a lot of time. If they have weeks and weeks and know what pick they have, then they have more time to look into it. So I kind of like knowing right before. All right, let's start with your questions, I guess, and then we'll kind of look at mock draft maybe.
Yeah, so I guess my first question you've already kind of touched on, but it was what's your strategy for drafting a team? So it sounds like you go through and do a bunch of mock drafts to kind of see what the aggregated picks kind of are amongst the general population type of thing.
Yeah. So I like to, like I said, I'll do a bunch of mock drafts and then I'll just go round by round and kind of see how I think I could build my team. And that's how I formulate, I write the big article every year. That's kind of how I formulate that. I just highlight everyone that I would be interested in those rounds. So I think for me this year personally, I think it's better off to go running back early In years past, I would say it was probably better to take receiver early for a large chunk of the time I've been doing content. But the last few years, I think it's shifted back towards running backs a little bit early. There's too much value at receiver, in my opinion. So I think you can take running backs early and then just take a lot of receivers in these middle rounds and feel pretty comfortable with it. So I would say running back early this year particularly sticks out for me. Now it would depend on, your like every draft is different. I don't know who's going to get picked or who's being kept or whatever, but majority this year, I would say I want running back early.
Right. And so I think I feel all right if I was to get like a top 5 pick, but who do you think, or who are your top 5 picks? Top 5 players.
Yeah, I would say,
because I know Bijan seems to be circling around 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say, so let me just pull up. I'll look at the ADP real quick, and I can tell you, Chase still goes 1 pretty regularly. And then it's kind of, you said half PPR. Let me see. Okay, here we go. So Chase, Bijan Robinson, Saquon, Gibbs, Jefferson / Lamb. That seems to be like the pretty firm top 5 in terms of ADP. I would be fine. Like if you take first pick, like if you have first or second and Chase is there, I'm fine not going running back early and taking him. I have no issues with that. I would be a little bit lower on Saquon personally relative to like Gibbs. Like I would have Saquon firmly behind Bijan and Gibbs. I might have Saquon behind McCaffrey as well. So like it's kind of tough. If you have a top 5, I would say you pick one of those 3 backs, that being Bijan, Gibbs, or McCaffrey, or you take CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb would separate himself from Jefferson for me just with the situation surrounding their defense. I mean, I already had Lamb above Jefferson anyways, but, them trading Micah just kind of heightens the potential that they're going to be in shootouts because I don't think their defense is very good at all. So
yeah.
And honestly, Pickens coming in helps CeeDee Lamb a lot. Like those are 2 of the most complementary receivers. Like they'll be able to put CeeDee in the slot full time and have Pickens on the outside. So it's a really good setup. So I don't think you can go wrong. If you have a top 5 pick, I don't think you can go wrong. If you have a later round pick, you kind of just have to pick what combo you would feel comfortable with. I've had late round picks in a lot of my drafts. So I have a lot of either Genty, Chase Brown teams, or taking one of those receivers at the end of the first and then just taking Chase Brown at like the start of the second. So whether it be Nico Collins and Chase Brown or something like that. So it kind of, if you have a late round pick, just depends what combo you want to go after, I think.
Yeah, like I think I feel a lot more strong with a pick in the top half. The bottom half is kind of where it falls off for me personally, where I just kind of don't know. I don't know the lineups as well as those kind of premium guys.
Sure. I think there's, you said this is 12 teams, right? Yeah, it would kind of just depend on, I guess, I don't know how these people draft, obviously. What would you rate the level of competition?
I've played with these guys a couple of years, and they normally cream me. So this is the year. This is the year we don't get.
That's not happening this year. I can tell you this.
Not a chance.
Yeah. All right. I mean, if you want, do you want to get in this mock draft too, or do you just want to I can rip it and we can kind of talk through it? I think I can give you the link if you want to hop in.
Yeah, send me the link. We can
see. I'll post it in that same thing. Chat, what do you guys think? If anyone's in here, Nathan, whoever's normally in here. I mean, I have no questions that will get you right. Like, Mike, Genty to the moon. I mean, I agree. You know that. I don't have any problems. I think I took him. We did our company fantasy draft last Friday? I think I took Genty in that draft. If you hop in this too, like maybe one of us pick like a top 4, and then the other one pick a bottom 4, and then we can kind of go through like
All right. How about
this strategy.
I take like 10th?
Yeah, you take 10th, and then I'll take like 4th, and then because I can pause this anytime so we can talk about it. Whoa, the sound off though.
Oh, and so we're drafting against the computer then?
Yeah, so it'll just basically pick off of the sleeper like populated rankings. I don't know where my oh, here we go. So it'll just go straight off there, which it gives you a good gauge, because I would say most people, like, they're gonna go pretty closely to what the website has ranked. That's why I think for people that's paying attention, there's a good edge depending on what format you play on, whether it be ESPN, Sleeper, Yahoo, whatever, because all the rankings are always different. There's different values based off where they have them ranked. So
for sure.
So like right here, if you're picking here, I would say you pick between Gibbs and Lamb or McCaffrey. I would still have Gibbs above McCaffrey, so it's kind of the question there, but I would just take Gibbs.
And so
what's your thoughts on McCaffrey as just from the outsider point of view? Because I feel like the general consensus on him is,
he's
people don't want to take him because he's like injury prone or whatever.
Yeah, definitely a little afraid of injuries, but I think there was something going around online that the years he isn't the first overall pick, he pops off.
Yeah, and look, it's definitely a bet. You can take whoever you want. Whoever like just draft this like you normally would, and we can kind of talk about it.
All right.
So whatever you think you would take here, you can go ahead and do that. But as far as McCaffrey, you're betting on him to stay healthy, but you're betting on any of these players to stay healthy. I don't typically worry about that stuff. I can tell you though, there's no player that's going to project for as many points in the first few weeks as McCaffrey. Like he is going to be projected for so many points. They have super banged up, like no Ayuk. It's just Pearsall and Jennings. So the first few weeks, I mean, he's going to have monster projections as long as he's in the game. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of FOMO after week 1 if he stays healthy and like does what he's going to do. I feel like there's going to be a lot of storylines next week that's like, oh, McCaffrey should have been the 101.
Yeah, he's back, right? Type of thing.
Yeah. Nathan, yes, I did. I think I have those two like neck and neck. I don't have a issue with either of them. I would say for me, it's probably Robinson, Gibbs, like Genty, McCaffrey. Like Jonathan Taylor is a good second round pick too. I like the RB start in 12 teams. I do. But to answer your question, Nathan, I did. I think it's close. I've kind of warmed up a little bit more to CMC as we go, but I took Genty over him in a draft over the weekend, so I don't think you can go wrong.
And Genty, this is his first year. He's a rookie, right?
Yeah, he's a rookie. So they don't really have anyone of consequence behind him, just Raheem Mostert. Pete Carroll, I feel like they're just really going to – Chip Kelly, good offensive system. They're going to play fast on offense. I know a lot of people are saying the Raiders aren't good, which is true, but I mean, you have 2 generational prospects on your team between Genty and Brock Bowers. It's kind of hard, and you're getting a quarterback upgrade. So it's kind of hard for them to be a really bad offense. I'm not saying they're going to win a bunch of games, but I don't think they're going to be terrible offensively. So,
and don't forget about the commentary, because Tom Brady, he's got the inside scoop.
He does, yeah. And man, okay, at this pick, I would take Chase Brown. So if you have a top 5 pick, I'm pretty confident, given that Chase Brown's ranked 25th, I'm pretty confident you can get Chase Brown in the middle of the second round here. So that would be my main target if I were you. And if you pick top 4 or 5 in the league, I would just plan to try and get Chase Brown in the second round. I still think he's a great pick. The 3rd and 4th round is where it gets interesting for me, because I hate these these rounds. I really do. I don't like him this year. I think you take a quarterback, or I don't mind T. Higgins. I obviously really like George Kittle. I wrote him up in my article. I really like him. But I just don't – I'm not sold on Hampton as much as other people are. So that's why, especially in like a managed league is so much different than like a best ball league. Like I'm comfortable taking quarterback early when I can get one of – I would have like Lamar, Josh Allen, Hurts, and Jaden Daniels. Like those four guys are kind of in their own tier, just given what they can do running. So I would be comfortable taking a quarterback here, but I just hate the third and fourth round this year. I don't know. It's not. I don't like Tyreek. I don't really trust these running backs that go here. That's why I want to take them in the first two rounds, and then I don't have to worry about it.
Right. So T. Higgins, I believe he's wide receiver number 2 on the Bengals. So we're thinking, I'm thinking Burrow's going to have another like MVP caliber season as long as the defense can kind of keep them together, right? So I don't mind taking a flyer on him.
No, I like T. Higgins. So he actually, when he played last year, he was top 7, I believe, in points per game fantasy wise. He had a really good season. He just missed some games, but no, the Bengals are among the top 4 or 5 teams in terms of who's probably going to lead the league in scoring. So I have no issues taking T. Higgins there.
Yeah. So on that thought, so in hockey, it's kind of nice when like if you get kind of one of those top 5 centers like the McDavid or the Kucherov, it's also nice to get who they're going to play on the power play with because you're going to get a lot of residuals that way. In football, is it kind of smart to try and get a quarterback wide receiver duo?
Yeah, 100%. Definitely think that's good. So, like, if you're going to take Burrow here, I think that would be fine. If Jaden Daniels did not go this pick before you, even though you have T. Higgins, I would still take Daniels over Burrow. I just think the ceiling with what he can do running, it would still make more sense to have that. But if this breaks like this, I think it would be fine to reach and take Burrow just to get him with T. Higgins. I think that's completely fine. And that's probably what I would do in this situation.
Okay, yeah, that was kind of my thinking as well. I think in our company draft, I took Jaden Daniels because he kind of fell onto my lap. So I was like, well, it'd be rude not to.
Mm-hmm. So, in this range here, Trevion Henderson has gotten a lot of hype recently. I don't mind if you want to take him too. Now, we already have 2 running backs. So the conversation would be, I probably wouldn't take a third here. I don't hate it, honestly. Do you know what? So what do you guys do? You start 2 receivers or 3?
Oh, let me check.
I can. Hold on, I think I can pause this. All right, let me know. I should have asked you that at the start.
Looks like 2 running backs, 3 receivers, and then 1 flex.
Okay.
And then tight end, of course.
Yeah. Okay. So if this was a 2 running back, 2 receiver, 1 flex, I'd probably be fine taking Henderson here, just going super heavy RB and then hitting wide receiver for the next like 5 rounds. But since you have to start 3 receivers, I think 2 running backs to start is good. So you have your team, for example, here you have your 2 running backs, you have T. Higgins, and you have Burrow. So you're ready to roll. Like you can comfortably rip like 4 or 5 receivers in a row if you want to. So I think that's good. But just given that you play 3 receivers here, I probably would go receiver. In terms of who I like I'm not really sold on Terry personally, not sold on Metcalf personally. So I know these guys are ranked the highest, but I just go based off of what I like. and I like this next tier better. So I would probably take Worthy, Jamison Williams. I get McMillan is in there. One of those three guys would be my pick. I'm going to take Worthy just for the sake of things, but I like all those guys equally. We both have quarterbacks, so we don't really need to worry about that. McMillan, this is why it's tough. Like, I have all these guys so close together. I think Pickens might. It's between Pickens and JMO for me here. I'm going to take JMO, and then I would say if it gets to you, I would probably take like Pickens at this point.
Okay, so at that last pick, you had Laporta available. So are we thinking he's not quite the same effectiveness as some of those wide receivers?
Yeah. So I would have for tight end, I would have a pretty sizable gap after Bowers, McBride, Kittle. Those would be my top three. If I can't get Kittle, who I draft a lot, if I don't leave my draft with George Kittle, I would wait on tight end until Tyler Warren down here, Tucker Kraft, Jake Ferguson. I would want to get one of those three if I can't get Kittle. So if I don't get a tight end in the first 3 rounds, I would wait on and just focus on the receivers. I think the receivers are better than any of these middle tight ends.
Okay, and then are we kind of out on Zay Flowers? Like, I know last year's rookie year kind of didn't pop off like everyone thought he was going to.
I don't dislike him, but I would have him behind Worthy, JMO, McMillan, Smith, Pickens, Ridley, probably those 5. So
Okay.
usually one of those 5 is there when I pick in these rounds. So I don't end up taking Zay Flowers. But if you had Lamar and you wanted to force it, I don't hate that then. But having Lamar is probably the only situation where I would take Zay Flowers over one of those like 5 guys I just listed.
Okay, yeah, and I think Pickens, like you said, could be that good second option for the Cowboys.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have a big year. Like, so in this situation, like if you have Higgins, Pickens, and then you could hit like Ridley, who's the firm number 1 on his team. Like for 12 teams, that would be a really, really strong like receiver core. You already have 2, like that would be an elite team, I think. And
Okay.
Ridley would kind of give you, like, he's going to give you stability. And then you have like Higgins and Ridley, as long as they're playing stability. Pickens, probably a little more boom bust, but you can take that risk when you have like that. You're already getting stable production from 2 guys. So I don't know. That's probably what I would do. And that's how I would think about it. And then you can kind of just go from there then after you kind of have this basis of your team established.
Yeah, it says questionable. We're not concerned about him.
No, yeah, he's good to go. I'm not worried about it. Yeah.
Perfect.
That's a good like if you could get a team like that.
So
I mean, that's top tier. Nathan, you said, do you have a favorite between Kraft and Ferguson? I would say Kraft over Ferguson, but they would be probably side by side. Ferguson I liked anyways, but obviously gets a bump up with the defensive issues for Dallas. But Kraft is, I mean, there's a good chance he's the second. I said this yesterday. Good chance he's the second highest target earner on his team. Debo ADP just went nuclear. I mean, he was so cheap a few weeks ago.
The problem with doing the draft the day before.
Yeah, the day before. Yeah, it's the most efficient, like ADP that you have to deal with.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm good with any of these receivers here too. Pearsall, Abuka, Debo. I can't really advocate taking Debo over one of these 2. So, I mean, honestly, I'm just going to take 2 of them. So, whichever one falls back to me. Debo Abuka is more of a conversation, but I would just, I don't know. I tend to lean towards the younger players personally.
So Ibuka, he's a rookie, right?
Yeah, so I had him I had him as the second wide receiver in this class. Not a lot of people had him that high. He ended up obviously getting drafted inside the top 20 by the Bucks. So that was kind of like a telling sign that the NFL teams liked him. I think he's the most polished of all the rookie receivers, just in terms of he played a long time at school, really, really good route runner, and he kind of fits the mold of the receivers that have had success breaking out in recent seasons of just being able to get separation above anything else. And then you have to deal with like Jalen McMillan's on IR now. He's probably not going to play. Chris Godwin's coming back from this ankle injury. Don't know how much time he's going to miss. Mike Evans is old. Like there's a chance Ibuka like leads the team in receiving. I mean, there's potential for that.
Kind of this year's Lad McConkey.
Yeah, I would. I think that's accurate. Yeah.
Okay, and then so looking at these next wide receivers, so I recognize Matthew Golden from college,
Mm-hmm.
Jacoby Myers, Cooper Kupp on Seattle. I learned that last night.
Yeah.
That was a shocker. And Chris Olave, like I mean, like New Orleans. I don't think we're expecting much from New Orleans, right?
Yeah, we're not. Olave's kind of like here. I'm gonna pause this real quick. Olave's kind of like just like a bet on talent, which I'm fine. I'm fine doing that in these like middle rounds because if you look at some of these guys that get drafted early on bad teams, that being Garrett Wilson, for example, goes in the 4th round. What's the honest difference between Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave, other than the fact Garrett Wilson's never missed an NFL game, and Chris Olave obviously has dealt with, concussion issues. But they're both on bad teams. They're both the clear number 1 target on their team. They both have suspect quarterback play, but you're getting one 4 rounds later, or 3 to 4 rounds later, depending on where he gets drafted. So I would be fine taking Chris Olave in this range. I would lean Matthew Golden over him, though, just because it's the same situation to where I think Matthew Golden's going to lead the Packers in targets, but he's on a better team and, getting better quarterback play. So that would be my lean there. Kupp, I don't know. I can't figure out. There's a chance that he's just dusty at the end of the day.
And then Stephon Diggs, we're kind of out on him too. We're not. He's not the same player he was with the Bills.
Yeah, same situation. Could be dusty. I don't know. We'll know like pretty soon in the season.
Gotcha. All right. So now we've taken Golden. Olave's still there. It seems like he's the clear choice of who's left for wide receiver.
Yeah, I would say you pick between like Olave and Tyler Warren would be. Like if you want to just get your tight end.
Oh,
you have 4 good receivers. You're going to be playing Genty and Taylor every week. So any other running backs you draft, it's going to be, like, do you need a flex play this week because of bye weeks, or is one of Genty Taylor on bye? If Genty or Taylor gets hurt, you're going to struggle anyway. Anytime you do a fantasy league, if your top 2 picks get hurt, you're going to struggle. So I don't like to worry about that. I just know that I drafted those too high. I'm going to be playing them every single week pretty much. So I think you can still wait a little bit on running back. If you want to take your tight end, I would have Tyler Warren like firmly as like the option, or you could just grab Olave and then get tight end on the way back here.
Yeah, tight end. I don't mind a tight end here. I do like to check my positional boxes, just so I know I've got someone to put in there.
Yeah, like I would probably take. I could probably wait just based off how this draft is going to go. Like I can take Tucker Kraft on the way back. So,
and so with the Micah Parsons trade, I saw it and my first thought was Green Bay wagon. Like I think they got some pieces now.
Yeah, I have. I just want to call this out. So if you don't end up getting a quarterback here in these top few rounds, I think you would want to get Dak Prescott. So looks like this like eighth round range looks like where he's gonna go. So just keep that in mind. If it ends up working out to where you don't end up taking one of those big 4 quarterbacks, like I said, around this like 7, 8, I would prioritize getting Prescott, just so you know. But yeah, Packers. I have futures on them. So when we did our NFL futures show like a few weeks ago, I have a Super Bowl ticket on them. I have a parlay with them to win their division. I have them in a parlay to make the playoffs. That was obviously before the Parsons trade, so I feel a lot better because their secondary is not very good. So they need an elite pass rush to make up for that, and that helps a lot when you trade for Micah Parsons. So I like the Packers. I think they're good. I think they're going to be – the NFC is pretty wide open after the Eagles, so I definitely think the Packers have a chance.
Right. So, yeah, there goes Dak, kind of right.
Yeah. So, right in this like 8-9 range, depending on where you pick. I would be comfortable like if you come up and you don't have a quarterback and you're picking like 8-7 to 8-10, I'd be comfortable just like taking him ahead of, where he's supposed to go and just getting him. Because I do think if you look at the last 2 seasons that he's played healthy, just monster numbers, especially for fantasy, and they're going to be in shootouts every single week. So
yeah, for sure.
It's a good spot for him.
All right. So now I got my running backs in order. I got 4 solid wide receivers. We got the tight end. So now I'm looking for just depth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would say I don't really ever draft 2 tight ends. So I would say you don't need to worry about another tight end. So I think you're just hammering, and you have Burrow, so you don't need to worry about another quarterback unless he's on a bye week. So I'm just hammering, if I'm you, the rest of these rounds is wide receiver, running back, just upside options. I don't care about anything else other than ceiling at this point. Like, you just need to hit on one of these 2 of these players. So looking at the running backs here, in terms of ceiling, I still think you can wait a little bit. I like Tootin for ceiling. I like Ollie Gordon for ceiling. Braylon Allen is fine as well. And then Jaden Blue. These kind of younger guys that could have bigger roles than what we're anticipating. Getting ahead on that. So I would just probably take receiver here. Pittman, probably your best. Like, just getting that stability of him, I think would be fine.
Okay. Oh.
I can fix it if you there you go. Yeah.
We got him.
But yeah, so I'm fine with him there. I'm fine with Downs there. I just think Downs and like Pittman, I don't know. Pittman was really hurt last year. I think he's the safest option there, so that would kind of help. It just stabilizes a little bit. Like, I feel you're going to have him able to like start every week pretty much.
Yeah. And then like a guy like Eckler, who is probably running back 1 on the Commanders, but Jaden Daniels is a running quarterback. So like if you see a combo like that, like we're probably not going to take a running back from one of those teams.
I don't mind him. It's just the Washington running back situation in particular has been like the biggest like case study all offseason, because you have this like rookie Krosky Merritt that's just completely gone nuclear in terms of his ADPs all the way up. He went in the 9th round in this. This guy was like, if you would have drafted a month ago, he was like one of the last round picks. You could have got him. Now he goes up in the 9th round. Will his role grow as the season goes? Potentially, yes. If he's good, certainly. I don't think you can comfortably draft him in this range. Eckler, I think, is going to be the pass down back. How much will he get like base work? I don't know. It's an unknown. And he goes in the 9th round too. I don't know. It's kind of like a really tough situation to figure out. The best value would be to just wait super late and take Chris Rodriguez wherever he goes, because he's going to get goal line work to start this season. So, and obviously Jaden Daniels can get goal line work too, but where they currently go, Chris Rodriguez would be your best bet for a Washington guy, just to like grab him late.
Okay.
I'd probably skip out on these guys. I like both of them, but not where they are like currently getting drafted, I guess.
Gotcha. And a guy like Nick Chubb, who's coming off injury, new team. Are we thinking Houston's going to be any good?
Yeah, I don't know about that situation either. I feel like there's a decent chance Dameon Pierce is just their lead back. They also have Woody Marks, rookie, who could be their passing down back. Nick Chubb's never really been a pass catcher, so it's just like it's unknown. So I would rather take the value options when it's unknown and like see if I get lucky. Like Chris Rodriguez, like who I said for Washington, is like way down here. I don't even know where he gets drafted at. Like he's ranked way down at 874th on Sleeper. So like I'd rather wait and just take him with my last round pick. Dameon Pierce, same thing. He's ranked 420th on Sleeper. Like you can get those guys with like your last round picks.
Okay, so then looking back at receiver, we got Keon Coleman, new contract here.
Let me pause this for you. Yeah, I like Keon Coleman for sure. Definitely could see a second year breakout there. Buffalo, thin pass catching group, so he could ascend and be, that number one option. Shakir's been dealing with that ankle injury during camp, so yeah, I think Keon Coleman would be a good upside pick if he turns out to be better than you anticipate. I think that would be a good pick. If you want stability, Keenan Allen is right there as well, so I don't think you can go wrong with either of those two.
Right, and I know Rashid Shaheed. He had some good. I think, special teams plays last year, but of course they didn't count for any of our
Yeah.
wide receivers. So I think I kind of got lulled into the highlight reel clips on him.
Yeah, he had some big like catches too. He's definitely not a bad option. I like Rashid Shaheed. I think he's like just an underrated NFL receiver. I think he's a little bit underrated. Nathan, you said Krosky Merritt's insanely overhyped right now. I think he's going to be a lot of Eckler Rodriguez. Yeah, I agree, Nathan. Now, like I said, if Krosky Merritt is good, his role is going to grow each week. And then ultimately you could get to the place where he's the lead back. But, when we were getting him in the 13th, 14th, 15th round, that's a lot different than having to spend up in the 9th round. So I agree. I think he's a little bit overhyped right now. I'm going to have Jaden Blue. Jaden Blue, potential to be the Cowboys lead back pretty early on in the season, I would say. It's just him and Javonte Williams right now. And I like Jaden Blue. I think he's a good player. Christian Kirk, I think, is going to be the slot receiver for the Texans. He's going to be on the field a lot, especially with no Tank Dell. He's interesting. I would prefer him to any of these other guys. Darnell Mooney is interesting, though. Like, he's back practicing. It was kind of unknown whether or not he was going to miss time. But he's, like, back practicing now. Obviously, he had a really good season last year. Atlanta, I think, is a good team to invest in. But I don't know. Just take Christian Kirk, I guess. After this like wraps up, like we can go through like the late round guys real quick that I think.
Yeah, that's definitely when I struggle. Is this I know historically my strategy is defense kicker, like second last and last.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there's some other guys we can maybe take a defense or a kicker earlier and
yeah. I would say I would just wait. I'd just take kicker defense like the last 2 rounds probably.
Yeah. The old tried and true.
Mm-hmm. I like if you wait a long time on kicker and the top guys are gone, I like Will Reichard. I told Steve this from Minnesota. I think he's a good late kicker pick if these top couple guys are gone.
Yeah. And so looking at it, Tyler Algier, he's the good. What's the handcuff? He'd be a good handcuff for Bijan. Are we big on handcuffs?
In a managed league like this, I think it's fine, but I would rather take upside options than like bank on injury, I guess, just because if my guy, like I said, if my guy gets hurt, it's gonna like my team is probably struggling anyways.
Yeah.
So I'd rather just take the upside guys like Tootin from Jacksonville and like Ollie Gordon would be the two that stick out to me. There's a very real chance Tootin barely plays or he's like their lead back. I mean, and if he is their lead back, I mean, he's gonna be like a league winner where he gets drafted.
Okay, so now is not the worst time.
Yeah, I would be comfortable taking him here. I don't. Once we get past like the 9th, 10th round, I really don't care. I just take like I don't really look at the ADP. I just take the guys that I want at this point.
Yeah, it's kind of like in hockey too, where my last 5 picks are probably getting thrown to the waiver wire anyway. So you just
yeah.
try and
Yeah,
throw
there's
it.
not like in best ball, it's harder because you can't make any moves. In a managed league, if you pick a guy late and he sucks, you just drop him and pick somebody up that you can use. So it's less risk. Like I would just focus. Like we're not gonna know until the games get going, but if Tootin has a bigger role, I mean he's gonna smash. Like just absolutely smash.
Yeah, so Tootin was a high upside guy. Do we have another high upside running back? It was that Ferguson guy. Or Rodriguez, sorry.
Yeah, you can probably wait on him. Like you can comfortably get him like last round, just based off where because he's so far down on this list. Like literally nobody even is like
Right.
So you could just get him last round. So I would say Ollie Gordon is fine. He's gonna have a role right away for Miami with Jalen Wright injured. If Achane, gets hurt more than he already has been, that's going to be good for him. But I mean, Ollie Gordon's going to have a role right away for Miami. So he would be in consideration for me. If you were looking Receiver, I would say like this Dante Thornton range would be interesting. But yeah, I would be fine. I'd probably just take Ollie Gordon if it was my team.
Yeah, all right. Let's snipe him up. Putting him in the back of my head now. Tootin and Gordon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Dante Thornton, I don't know if you know anything about him, but one of the only players ever, he at his size to run as fast as he did at the combine. And he's going to play right away for the Raiders. Obviously, Geno Smith does like to throw the deep ball, so that could work out in his favor as well. I'm excited to watch him this year.
Oh, he's a big feller.
Yeah, and super fast. Let me see.
205.
Yeah, let me see. I'll pull it up exactly. So 6'5", 205, ran a 4.3 flat, which is obviously 99th percentile, especially for that size. Just insane.
Yeah, that's kind of gross.
Who I would take here? I don't even know. I guess like Ray Davis. If James Cook goes down, immediate, like you would be starting him every single week. So I like Ray Davis for like backups. Like Tootin and Gordon are going to have roles immediately, like week 1, and we just don't know how big. Ray Davis will have a role, but firmly the backup. If James Cook got hurt, he would be a starter every week. Same with Will Shipley. I like getting him late. I think he rested with the starters for the Eagles quite a bit during their preseason. There's a chance he plays a little bit more than anticipated to start. And then if Saquon goes down again, like you would just start him every week because they're a running team and it's a good situation. So I like getting those guys late.
All right. So third last pick. I think since we need a defense and a kicker.
Yeah, you could do that here and then just take like one of these upside guys like Rodriguez or whoever with your last pick. So if you want to just go kicker defense here, you could do that. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah. So what is the theory on a kicker? Like my thought is always you want someone whose quarterback's going to get you a lot of touchdowns. So they're going out or is going to get you in a position to kick.
Yeah.
So,
good teams, dome teams helps, but not a must. Cam Little, I mean, he hit that 70 yarder or whatever it was. What was
Right.
it like? I think it was like 7. Wasn't it close to 70 in the preseason? Something insane. I don't know. Clearly, they're comfortable with him, so I think he's fine. And then, like I said, Will Reichert, I like, just good team on inside a dome, plays a lot of dome games. He was pretty good last year as a rookie, so one of those two is fine. I mean, Butker is fine. Any of these kickers is fine as long as they're on a good team.
Okay.
I like Denver's defense too. Minnesota. Houston has a good pass rush, but for defense, mainly looking for good pass rush.
Right. So
like
Green Bay wouldn't be
yeah.
the worst.
Green Bay would be good now. Minnesota with Flores, like they blitz a ton, can force turnovers. Houston has a good pass rush with Hunter and Will Anderson and those guys that they have. So any of those are good.
It looks like people are sleeping on Green Bay still. Mind you, I bet you most of the drafts have been completed before Parsons
for sure. Yeah, most definitely. All right. Overall, like, what's your thoughts? Do you feel more prepared? Do you feel more prepared for your draft?
I do, yes. Like having some of these late round guys kind of called out helps immensely.
Yeah.
Because I think since like NFL is not my main sport, that's kind of where I fall off. Is like I don't watch a lot of college football, just kind of casually during the bowl games, right? Mostly just a hockey guy first. So some of these lesser known names than the up and comers are kind of what I struggle with. So I think that was good.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in here watching us parse your draft out, so this is good.
Excellent.
Overall, though, good luck. Obviously, I want to see some results of this draft whenever it's completed tonight.
Yeah, we can do a draft reveal next Thursday.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have any other like questions you want to answer or anything?
I had some more generic questions, just kind of what teams to stay away from. Are there any teams we don't like this year? Because I know it's one of those things like the Jets are probably going to be bad, but they're still going to have players that are going to put numbers up for fantasy.
Yeah, I don't know if I have any teams that I would say I just don't target. It kind of just comes down to, I guess, like the value of them. But like I said, like for me, why would I take Garrett Wilson? I don't know. I love Garrett Wilson, the player. I just don't like where he gets drafted currently. So like that's someone that I would be comfortable avoiding. I don't really like Kyron Williams where he goes personally. Like James Cook, like those guys that are just very, very reliant historically on touchdowns to keep their fantasy value afloat. I don't like to bet on that year to year because touchdowns can be unpredictable. They can be a little bit fluky. So I just don't like to bet on those guys that rely super heavily on touchdowns. Maybe looking at guys that didn't score a lot of touchdowns last year and can get some positive regression. Because I think most of the time, if you set a baseline projection for guys of what they're going to score, you can get a nice idea by looking at prior. So like Trey McBride is a hot candidate. I like Kittle over McBride, but McBride theoretically, given how many targets he sees, especially in the red zone, should score more than like the 2 touchdowns or whatever he scored last year. So like that's someone that I'd be more willing to bet on as opposed to guys like Kyron Williams, who has a very, very good red zone role, but is he going to continually score double-digit touchdowns? I don't really like to bet on that personally.
Yeah, sounds like you kind of want to bet on the guy that's going to get the consistent usage for when the team needs to gain some yards.
Yeah, because I can't. You as good as I am as picking touchdowns, like you can't predict touchdowns from like a season-long output. Like you just can't. I don't know. It's so there's so much randomness, especially when it's not like hockey or baseball or basketball where these guys are playing multiple games a week. Like you're playing one game a week for 16 weeks. Like there's just a lot of noise in just random things that can happen. Like the ball can bounce 1 inch one way and you don't score a touchdown or something. It's just randomness.
Yeah, and football's definitely it's a game of chess where you have your whole game plan, and maybe you're going to have your number one wide receiver just as a pawn all week, just to draw over people, right?
Yeah. Nathan, I missed your question about the IR stash. I would probably lean Coker, honestly, between those two. And then you said, who's your favorite late end quarterbacks? Late quarterbacks for me would be if we say late, I'm assuming we're talking like after, let's say like 15, 16. Drake May would be number one for me just because he can run. I don't know if he will run, but he can. So there would be some potential there. So I would say Drake May, JJ McCarthy. I'd actually put McCarthy above Drake May, honestly. JJ McCarthy probably number one. And then Drake May, and then probably like Bryce Young, maybe. Those three guys. I don't know if like JJ counts as late, but I mean he's going quarterback 19 right now.
And do we think Jordan Love is value at this point? Like, do we think?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine with him. I would rather have JJ than him. Just the offense, like the offense is slightly better, and I think there's a more willingness to throw the ball. We've seen Kevin O'Connell call pass heavy game scripts regardless of who he has at quarterback. I mean, he's had Nick Mullins at quarterback, Jaron Hall, like just completely randoms, and he does not change. So if he has someone that he handpicked and drafted inside the top 10 at quarterback, I'm pretty sure he's going to be able to run whatever he wants. So I would lean McCarthy over him. Green Bay can skew a little bit more running heavy with like Jacobs and stuff. But I don't have a problem with Jordan Love. I think he's a good player. JJ should be closer to like the 14, like 15 range in terms of where he gets drafted, I think. I don't really know why he goes so late. I guess people just don't trust him, I guess, because he didn't play last year. I don't know. I mean, there's nobody in the league that gets to throw to Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson, Jordan Addison. Like, it's literally the best. He has the best set of weapons and the best offensive coach. Like, that's literally a perfect storm.
Yeah, who was their quarterback last year again? What was his name?
They had Darnold last year.
Darnold, yeah. Darnold, I tried to do, well, I didn't try. I did. I selected Jefferson, I think, on the second half of the first round, betting on his athleticism would just kind of carry. And that kind of worked out well. Because like Darnold was able to throw the ball in the vicinity, and Jefferson just made it happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like those guys can carry him even if he struggles a little bit. Like it's not going to matter. He just needs to put the ball in their hands and they'll go do the rest. And he has Thielen back, like little safety blanket. Really good setup. Overall though, I mean, I think that about does it. Any final questions at all or anything?
No, I think that is a pretty good overview.
All right. Good luck, obviously, in your draft tonight. Chat, we'll be back live tomorrow. Like I said, I'm probably going to go live a little bit before 4. We'll talk bets, and then I think Steve's going to come on. So we'll see what goes on tomorrow. But afternoon stream tomorrow. Good luck tonight with everything. Aiden, obviously, good luck with your draft. And I'll see everybody tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks, everyone.